on this edition of Let's Talk Cincy.
So drug court is somewhere where you can get treatment, and we focus on treatment instead of punishment here.
The impact of Hamilton County's drug court, saving lives, saving communities.
Since I've been here, I know we've graduated over 350 graduates. I would imagine over a 30-year history, it's well into the thousands.
From WLWT, this is the Emmy Award-winning show, Let's Talk Cincy. Presented by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put our financial strength behind you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Curtis Fuller, and welcome to Let's Talk Cincy. We've told you about this amazing program called the Drug Treatment and Recovery Court of the Hamilton County Court of Common Pleas. It's the first drug court established in Ohio and currently stands as the only full-time drug court in the state. Individuals who voluntarily choose to engage in this program really strive to overcome their addiction, thereby improving their quality of life and contributing to the safety of the community as a whole.
Well, drug court has a 30-year history in this community. It was first started by Deidre Hare. She was the first judge. She was the trailblazer. It was a new idea to try treatment as a mechanism of addressing individuals who have substance abuse disorder as opposed to just being punitive. And I would say the impact in our community has been substantial. We've been here for 30 years. Since I've been here, we've graduated in excess of 350 people. We have broken down silos and fiefdoms, so we have better collaboration with the Hamilton County Addiction Coalition and various treatment agencies. We also go out into the community now and have genuine community engagement and actually bring drug court, its services and its message to the community on the front line. And so I would say the impact has been immenseful, not only in the people that we've been able to save and help achieve sobriety, but in exposure, letting people know that Hamilton County Drug Court is here in the courthouse and that there's hope here and not just despair. Collaborating with other agencies on this fight against the scourge of addiction. So I would just say we've been very impactful over the last 30 years.
My story is I fought addiction. I overdosed. I was found overdosed. I had the opportunity to come here, completely changed my life around from 10 years of addiction. In the process of being here, definitely pushed forward farther than I thought I ever would. Working harder, created a business. I got my life back together, my health, family relationships, friends. Overall, my life definitely improved. This program is definitely very, very hard. But overall, it ended up being a good thing. I have a good life now. Running a business, a couple people. Happy to be home. Tired. I eat a lot. Just the normal basics. Yeah. Basic life is nice now. I enjoy waking up every day, enjoy going to sleep. I mean, there's nothing that beats friends that are around you, family that are around you, people that talk to you, love you. Always there for you no matter what. Even if it's a long night, early morning, I got somebody to call. A lot of positive reinforcement in my group, that were pushed me to be the better person, for sure.
Since I've been here, I know we've graduated over 350 graduates. I would imagine over a 30-year history, it's well into the thousands. You had Judge Hare, who was the first drug court judge, and then you had Judge Kim Burke, who was tenured for 20 years. And so just imagine, before I got here, 26 years of people engaging in this program and graduating. So again, I would imagine it's well into the thousands. So we have an alumni program that is kind of monitored by the probation officer, but ran by the participants. So they have an opportunity to stay connected to drug court. Some people have anxiety about where will my support network go for. We have a lot of infrastructure for our participants. So we have the alumni group so people can stay in touch with us. And people come by all the time and come by and say hi to Judge Sanders. So we remain a support system, even if not in the official capacity, for graduates and just people maybe who weren't successful to come and talk with us and update us on their status. And if they need help, we can still direct them to resources. There's hope in the courthouse. The courthouse is just not a place of despair. It's not just a place of punishment. there is a safe space here for individuals who need help, who are suffering from addiction, and who unfortunately commit criminal offenses because of it. They don't have to worry about punishment. There is hope for them, there's help for them, and we care.
Saving lives is what this program means to me. We're taking in clients who are dealing with issues, and we're trying to do everything we can to assist them, to serve them, that they will become productive members of society and do their part in helping the world. To be servants, to help others in time of need, to be very dedicated and disciplined in maintaining their goals, being very committed to being in family and community. That's my advice that I would give to all our participants, and to love themselves more than they love anyone else who may try to offend them in any way, whether it be offering substance of abuse, alcohol, or anything that can distract them in moving forward.
You have a lot of people in our society that are dealing with issues that bring them into the criminal justice system. And a day like today, when people graduate, you can see that if you treat them a little differently and you give them certain opportunities, that many of them will be able to go on to be tax-paying, responsible citizens. And that's really what we want. And it actually costs less money than to just incarcerate people. So it's really a plus for everyone, definitely for our clients, but also for the community at large.
This program is a very difficult program to navigate, and you have to be committed, dedicated, and focused and determined to make this a success for you. This is a program that can save your life if you're ready to be saved in this untimely fashion. That you have to encourage not only yourself, you're going to have to encourage others around you, and pay attention to instructions that your treatment providers are giving to you.
Well, the one thing I desire for drug court is to make sure that we get greater exposure, that people know about it. We've been here for 30 years, right? But people always tell me, I never heard about drug court. I never knew that there was this opportunity. We are celebrating 8 wonderful graduates who have worked very hard, very diligently to change their lives around and achieve sobriety, and that they'll need support. You know, they'll need continued support for the community. And so what I want for people to understand that addiction is a disease, and the most way you can be helpful is to suspend judgment and connect that person to resources.
It did a lot. It got me closer to Mom, you know, getting a connection back together. Not just with my mom, my kids, my girl, my wife. This program ain't easy. It's hard. You know, like I said, try to focus on the pros and not the cons, man. Find you, because this program helped me find me. It's about that.
My personal challenge was I struggled with addiction my whole life, and I chose to sell narcotics to support my habit, which landed me in jail, obviously, because it's illegal. And I had never heard of the drug court program, and the prosecuting team and the lawyer told me about it because I'm older. They knew I'd been struggling my whole life. I've had prison numbers before this, and I wanted something different, and they said they saw I was struggling with addiction. And they told me there's a chance that you can get clean and stay out of prison, so that's why I accepted. It's a complete 180 opposite direction from where I was. It has given me structure and schedule and stability. Just the consequences that come from not making it to my appointments or to the urinalysis tests and stuff like that. So it's given me structure, and it's because the family sees the structure in me. My family, they've overlooked my past mistakes, and it's brought us a lot closer. They can see that I'm serious. I would like the community to know that there is better days for people that have made mistakes even if they've met them their whole life, this program shows us a way that we can change the way our living, our thought patterns, to not be afraid to open up and talk to people. It just teaches you a lot of life skills to better yourself, and the community needs to know that. Don't think it's just a way for people to get out of jail, because it's really helping change lives. It's not just keeping you out of jail. It gives you tools to be successful in life. And don't get overwhelmed in the beginning. It seems like a lot, but as long, drug court will help you with bus passes and everything. They'll help you with transportation. So at first it's gonna seem like this is crazy, I'm coming here way too much, but they will help you with transportation. And once you get in the groove and used to doing it every week, everything will flow. But it is very overwhelming at first, so just don't let it overwhelm you. Know that they will help you and they will work around your schedule if need be.
Coming up.
And we made a record called How I Wish You Were Here. And it took off. It took off. We had a producer called Kent Washburn as our first famous producer to work with, who was one of Diana Ross's producers.
With me now is Vicki McWhorter, better known as Vicki V to her fans. Originally from Cincinnati, now living in Japan. She is a singer and an actress. First of all, welcome back to Cincinnati.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fuller. Thank you.
It's interesting. One of your first television appearances as a teenager was here on Channel 5, the Bob Braun
50-50 Club, Vicki and Larry.
So give people some background. As I said, you're originally from Cincinnati. We'll get into the music part, but just...
Well, I grew up in Parktown. I went to Washburn. I was always in music. You know, we had options, so I was always taking the music classes. I had Mr. Dickerson there. I was in the band. I played clarinet and was always in the choir. And then later I moved to Mary Junior High. I stayed with my aunt in Corryville on Bellevue Avenue and stayed with her and was going to church every Sunday. From there, Mary Junior High, met L.A. Reid in the band. He's drums, I'm clarinet. From there, Hughes High School. And that's when a lot of magic started. I mean, with Terry Brown, our teacher, who used to sing with the Mystics.
Right.
You remember them?
Of course.
And so Reed, KO, the group known as The Deal, we were all in the same, you know, room together making music. We did it was called the Merry-Go-Round. We did a live concert every year. So from there, all of that music, and then the pageant happened.
Right. And when we say the pageant, we should let people know this was the Miss Black
Teenage,
America pageant.
And that was a big pageant.
Yeah.
And Terry Brown was like, Vicki, you should get in it. And I'm like, me in a pageant? I mean, I never thought about that. He says, no, just do it. So I got in it. I won. Richard Roundtree was there as the MC.
Because this would have been right around the time.
I was still in high school.
Yeah, when Richard Roundtree, I mean, he's always been a big star.
Yeah, Shaft.
But Shaft had just come out. This is the early 70s.
And so I'm nervous looking at him, you know, here he is bringing me the trophy and everything. And, oh, wow, those memories. And from there, it was a guy named Bill Waller that was probably a judge. He was a judge. After that, he contacted my mom, Tom Pillar and everyone. He got me to sing with Larry, a guy named Larry Holston. So we started singing, and we made a record called How I Wish You Were Here. And it took off. It took off. We had a producer called Kent Washburn as our first famous producer to work with, who was one of Diana Ross's producers. And believe it or not, L.A. Reid and KO played on my record. Yeah, we go way back.
That is the song that Bob Braun had you sing on the 50-50 Club.
We did it live.
I should note that you've also performed with Bootsy Collins.
Everybody
knows Bootsy.
Bootsy started me writing. Bill Waller, well, at first I was working with a group that is now known as After Seven. It was Kenny Edmonds' brothers,
Yeah. Okay.
Kevin and Melvin. And we were to be the
Your
new
memory
Shalimar.
is great on to remember all these names.
L.A. Reid said the same thing 2 nights ago when I talked to him. He was like, you remember all of that? He remembers too. But I was going to rehearse and we weren't really doing anything, so Bill Waller said, Bootsy needs a girl to do demos for Tina Marie and Diana Ross, and he wants to use your voice. That's how I met Bootsy. As soon as I met Bootsy, we were making songs, and it never stopped. And we would write songs together, me, Bootsy, and Microwave, and I still have a lot of 4-track tapes to this date.
Wow.
Maybe something is a hit, I don't know. But Bootsy gave me a little 4-track machine, a little man-in-the-box drummer-like machine, a little bitty keyboard, and I used to watch him recording all the time, and I'm going, how am I gonna hook this stuff up? He didn't show me. And he says, well, V, once you hook it up, you can start hitting. You know, that's how he talks. So
He still talks that way.
yeah, I know. So it's like, wow. Once I did, I never stopped. I would be up all night writing.
Why Japan?
Gerald Brown.
Okay.
You know Gerald Brown? He was one of the original singers for Shalimar. He was
Right.
here. He says, V, do you want to go to Japan? I'm like, Japan? Yeah, you know.
But you've fallen in love with it, huh?
They treat you so nice. It was so many business opportunities. It was so much that started happening. I was the most famous DJ when they opened up FM Northwave. I DJ'd Getsuyobi kara Kinyobi made, Ichiji kara Yoji made, which is Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock to 4, live.
I'm glad you translated that for me.
Live. Well, sometimes I have to remember it so I can remember everything in Japanese. And I had a show called V's Delight.
What an amazing career, and I think it's important for folks to hear, you know, someone who started out in Parktown
Yeah, in Parktown.
has gone on to great things. It is really a pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Anytime, I know you get back to Cincinnati periodically, but
Yeah.
Anytime you're in town, you are always welcome here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.
Coming up,
How did you get to where you are at age 21?
I would say my parents, because they noticed that I had an interest in drawing since the age of 2. So when I got of age, they would put me in art classes, and they got me into performing arts downtown. So I've been doing art ever since. It's been like the only thing in my life that I've done consistently.
You are 21. You have your own studio. You have all this work. How did you get to where you are at age 21?
I would say my parents, because they noticed that I had an interest in drawing since the age of 2. So when I got of age, they would put me in art classes, and they got me into performing arts downtown. So I've been doing art ever since. It's been like the only thing in my life that I've done consistently. So I've had a lot of time to get good and make decisions, like if I want to do it full time, which I do. So like you obviously need a space for it. At first I was just painting at my mom's house, like in the corner somewhere for years, which is cool. Like, I can do that any day. But having like your own space like this is really nice. And it's like inspiring too.
What does art mean to you?
Self-expression. in any kind of way. It can be fluid. Just some creative, like something just that's kind of like not necessarily normal, but you can create. It could be anything, you know.
Well, I'm really curious about the Warhol piece and.
The Andy Warhol, I started it when my car window got broken into. So I was like, I'm just gonna make a painting. And I went to go get a canvas that day, and then I just started it. So I guess it was just out of a little bit of frustration, just wanting to do something and take my mind off of it. I wanted to try something different with the face, because I usually, well, before this, I would paint skin tones, and they'll be like normal skin tones, like brown, they're white, you know. But this time I wanted to use colors that aren't necessarily skin tone and make them like work with each other. And I like using like a lot of paint layers. I like to make it messy a little bit and just have a lot of just layer and a lot of just emphasis to it, a lot of emotion. So I think I just started from, I wanted to try something different, and I had the photo of Andy Warhol with the red hat on, so I like edited the picture on my phone, upped the contrast a lot, and then just painted it. I wanted it to look like he was just kind of like a little bit disappointed. It kind of like how I felt when I got my car broken into, like just disappointed, not like the worst thing in the world, but like mediocre, you know, just, yeah.
Tell me about the work that's now up at Fifth Third Bank.
It was a piece to showcase Avondale's important people who played a big part in the civil rights movement. Louise Shropshire and Bob Shropshire, they would like hang out with Fred Shuttlesworth and sing together. So they wanted me, Fifth Third, and they wanted me to like just capture it, because not a lot of people, like you said, tell the stories of them and they kind of forget it. So keep the story alive. And I don't usually paint a lot of people like that. So it was like a challenge for me. Yeah, it was just to showcase the important people from Avondale and how they played a part in Cincinnati. And without them, it wouldn't be the same at all today.
Well, that does it for the program today. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Curtis Fuller. I'll see you next time for another edition of Let's Talk Cincy. Until then, have a good day and a better day tomorrow.